adding integers. Adding integers. So this should go in your table of contents and the next sheet on in your notebook. Okay. This should be review. We learned this last year. We talked about this last year. I'm going to talk about the same ways we learned last year about how to add them. You decide which way you like the best. It does not matter to me. Okay. We talked about cats and dogs last year. We talked about tiles last year. We talked about the number line. I'm pretty much going to oust the number line because nobody uses that. Okay. I'm not even going to talk about it. Okay. But let's talk about absolute value quickly, just to see if we can remember what absolute value is. What is it, first of all, Larissa? Don't look at your notebook. Nope, nope, nope. Do not look at your notebook. Don't look at it. Did you look at your notebook? Okay. Absolute value is what? The number. Yes, spaces to 0. Very good. Now, what are some things that x can be in here, Landon? 4, what else could x be in here? It could be another thing. Gabe? -4. Yes, it can be -4. Because remember, any answer can be a positive, right? So any answer to an absolute value is positive. So there's 2 things that can be. All right, so first of all, additive inverse property. This is the property you need to know. The sum of any number and its opposite is 0. The sum of any number and its opposite is 0. And you guys kind of already know this. It's just they cancel each other out. 4 and -4 cancel out. 5 and -5 cancel out. So the property is the sum of any number and its opposite is 0. Maybe you want to write an example, like maybe you should say additive inverse property. An example, 9 plus -9 is 0. That's just the easy way to do it. The sum of any number and its opposite is 0. And then this is an example. And any number and its opposite is always 0. They always cancel out. If you think about it last year when we talked about tiles, a red and a yellow, they canceled out. Remember, they were called a 0 pair. Remember, a 0 pair was a red and a yellow together. Cat and a dog together were a 0 pair because they followed each other out of the room. Depending on what you decided to do, you had to use 0 pair somewhere along the line. So, ways to add integers. I have number line, tiles, cats, and dogs. Pick what you want. I'm going to stick with tiles. I'm going to talk about tiles, and I'm going to talk about cats and dogs the most. Because I think you're old enough to handle cats and dogs. Do you remember what you used last year? Did everybody use cats and dogs kind of in here? You use the number line, Ellen? I mean, I will talk about it if you want me to talk about it. I just think, like, when 7th graders come in, like, they're like, the number line, oh, I don't really want to use that. To me, the number line's hard when you don't have it in front of you. Like, if I don't have the number line in front of me, it's hard for me to use. And when it stops at 20, like, a lot of times now we're talking about, like, numbers like 100 and 500. And so, if you want me to talk about it, I will. It's up to you. Okay. We did that already. Okay, I'm going to skip that. Skipping that. Okay, let's go to tiles. Okay. How many of you remember actually doing them on your desk last year? Okay, so let's just talk about this once time again. I'm not going to make you do them on your desk. I'm just going to show you, draw a picture, or what if you need to. So 0 pair is what we talked about. It's basically the additive inverse property. It's when 2 things cancel out. So a red and a yellow are going to cancel, okay, all the time, because that's like my additive inverse. It's called the 0 pair. So remember last year, this is how it went. 5, I'm going to start with my problem here. 5, I'm going to put 5 on my board. 2, 3, 4, 5, plus -3, 1, 2, 3. You can see I have some 0 pairs. They cancel out. These 2 cancel, these 2 cancel, these 2 cancel, and what do I have left? I have 2 left right here. So my answer is +2. Okay. Does everybody kind of remember this last year? Yes? Okay. Perfect. Perfect. And I think some of you used them, but I think more of you went to the cats and dogs, and we're going to talk about that more. Okay, so if this is what you used, cats were negative, dogs were positive. I didn't make the rules. I don't like one better than the other. It's just what I found, so don't hate on me since I have cats that are negative. Okay, so a problem like this would be 6 plus -3. So I have 6 dogs. If you want to write them out, you can do that. I have 3 cats. Now, cats and dogs don't fight. They don't like each other, so they run out of the room. If they are in the same room, they're going to chase each other out. Now, usually, I always start with the number that's smallest. That's the number that leaves first. Okay? So if 3 cats are going to run out, how many dogs are going to follow? Obviously, 3. I have 3 left, 3 dogs, so +3 is my answer. Okay? That's how cats and dogs work. Okay? Everybody kind of catch what I'm throwing there? Okay, so let's do another one. Let's do a bigger one. Let's do negative 57 plus 17. Plus, there we go. How many cats do I have? 7. Yep. How many dogs do I have? 17. So 17 dog foods are going to run out. So how many cats are going to run out? 17. So I'm going to have what left? I'm going to have 40 cats, negative 40. Another thing, another way you can easily do this. If you want to write this down, you can do that. Subtract the 2. Take the sign of the bigger number. And that's what you're doing with cats and dogs anyway. So subtract the 2. Forget you even have a negative there. Subtract them. Get your 40. And 57 is bigger, so you're going to take it the negative since it's bigger. So negative 40 is also a way you can do it. Sometimes people get confused if they have a problem like this, though. I'm just going to put them together because it's like all cats, right? It's like all cats or all red tiles on your board. So negative 68 would be the answer. I have a lot of people that get this confused when we start multiplying because they'll say, like, don't 2 negatives make a positive? That's only in multiplication. Maybe some of you are already thinking that. Like, why isn't it positive 68? Well, that's only in multiplication, not in this. Okay? What questions do you have for me? Any questions on this? Should just be reviewed. Okay, so these are the types of problems you're going to see today. Not just like the little guys like this. It's more big, longer, adding more things together. So, if I have something like this, what's a good strategy to use to solve a problem like this? Like, what's a strategy, Aspen? Start with your addition. Well, they're all going to be addition. Today's all going to be addition. Yep. What's a good strategy, Haley? You know, sometimes the parentheses are just around them to keep the negative with it. Doesn't mean anything to do with multiplication. Sometimes those parentheses are just around to keep the negative with it. So if I'm going to solve this, what's a strategy, Ethan, that I can use? Could cut it in half. So he's saying do these 2 first and these 2 second, and then add my answers. That's a good way. That's a good strategy. What's another strategy? Could do positives and negatives and then add those 2 in the end. Sure, I could do that. What's another one? Go from left to right. Sure. I don't care what you choose. Some of you like to see small things first. If you like to see small things, Ethan's way is probably the best way, right? Because you could do this, well, 4 plus 8, well, that's 2, and this is 6, so 8. If you like seeing small things first, it'd be easy just to split it up and do like go 2 and 2 and 2 or whatever, okay? You could go from left to right by doing something like this. These 2 first would be, let's see, would be 2, and then plus negative 3 would be negative 1. Wait, time out. No, I'm not. It can't, it's got to be 8. Oh, I put 6 on accident, right? So 2 plus 6 is 8, right? Is that what I did? Okay. Oh, I was confusing myself there. So, okay, so we could have 2 plus negative 3, which is your negative 1, and then add your 9, which is 8. That's going from left to right. You decide what works for you. Stick with something. Make yourself good at one thing, okay? You decide what works for you. Why don't you try these 2 on your notebook, okay? Try these 2 on your notebook. Got a strategy that works for you? Find something that works for you. Can't read that. It's so little. Are you doing okay? Okay. Don't forget that if you decide to subtract, don't forget to take the sign of the bigger number, whether it's, sometimes it's positive, fine, but sometimes it is a negative, so don't forget that. Anybody want to try the first one? Okay, so it's because you say right here doesn't mean I'm going to call on you. Larissa, tell me what you did, what strategy you used, what you did, and then tell me what you got for an answer. So you kept it simple. Okay? Good. 20? Does that sound like a good answer? Does that everybody agree with her? Okay, very good. Nice work. Gabe, tell me your next strategy. Okay. Agree with him? Good. Sometimes you're going to get some ones that look like this. So let's say I have negative 5 plus negative 10 plus 15 plus 2. What can I do to some things in here right off the bat? Negative 5 plus negative 10 plus 15. What do you notice, Ethan? Look it. Would this not all cancel out right off the bat? Because this is going to be negative. So some of them might be easier than you think if you look. And the answer would just be 2. So some of them might be easier than you think if you look for some things like that, and some of them, yeah, Ava. That's only for subtraction. That's tomorrow. So we're not doing that today. That's tomorrow stuff. Or keep change, so I think what we called it last year. Yeah, that's tomorrow. So no, we're not gonna do that today. Okay. The last thing I want to show you is an example of a story problem. So today, all story problems are going to have some number in it that's supposed to be negative. So here you have to look for your keywords. Below, took out, less than, withdraw, look, maybe use, I don't know. Is that what's up here? Okay. A bank account has $50 in it. What is the balance after the debit card was used for 33 and 41? Now, here's the thing. This is probably going to end up to be a negative number, which is fine. Some of you would try to do this. You would do 50 minus 33, and then you do minus 41 again. But a way you can do this, you can take 50 plus negative 33 plus negative 41. That's a way you can do it, so you add them all together. Anything today, there's a way you can add for your answers. There's a way you can solve by adding. So make sure you're looking at that. Honestly, I don't care how you solve the story problems, because when you're like 50, you're not going to look back and say, what's Mr. Christoffel taught me in 7th or 8th grade? You're not going to say that, so you're going to do it your own way. So if there's a way you can solve a story problem your own way, by all means, do it. Yep. I don't know. Is that what it is? So this is 50 in the hole. Yep. Plus negative, what is this? 74. Yep. So negative 24, so he's negative $24 in the hole, which is not a good thing. So every story problem today has some kind of negative in it. You just have to find what it is. And then everything should be able to be solved by an addition problem, but honestly, whatever you do to solve it, I do not care, as long as you get the right answer.